maybe. Okay, there we are. You are listening to another action-packed edition of Fucking Around with Porn Stars on the Skyhawk After Dark Radio Network. You can also find us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn, iTunes. Of course, all of our videos are available on YouTube, xbiz.tv, and of course, TikTok, Facebook, Rumble, all the various places. And we have a fantastic guest with us today. We had her on a couple weeks ago when we had the Russian on, which was a hell of a deal. I will have to say that that was, I don't know what Giovanni Valentino probably thought of that whole goddamn thing. But I looked at it as, this is the wrestling business, brother. I gotta just, I've been through this before. I get it. But I will have to say that one of the people that was a standout from that last conversation was the Thotty Godmother, and
Yes.
I wanted to have her back to do as Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity are starting to copy everybody and their brother, a long form interview.
Okay.
But we will not be copying Joe Rogan here. We will be doing something else.
No, we're different. We do things differently.
Not doing that at all.
I'm not stealing that gimmick, brother. But one of the things, before we get into everything with the Thotty Godmother, she is absolutely amazing. Forget about what you've heard. Forget about gerbils and batting cages and ferrets and jello fights. She is perfect, and
yes,
she's my kind of perv magnet as well.
yes,
But
indeed.
so something that you did fairly recently, I get the impression this happened just like the other day.
Like yesterday?
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about this Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame.
That caught me by
Because
surprise.
you went
I was
out,
not expecting
you went
that.
out and you put which I guess she can get in, but Jenna Jameson. I was more geeked about the fact that you put Melina and Victoria in there.
Yep.
Which, we'll have to educate Giovanni here, because I can almost guarantee he doesn't
know who that was.
He doesn't know who
I'm not a
Melina.
wrestling guy. I'm
He
learning.
Definitely doesn't know who Victoria is.
And allow me to throw Jiggy under the bus. He was supposed to train me on all things wrestling. He has failed at that. I've had to turn to his coworker, the best Big Will at Trans World Media, who has been lovingly teaching me. But there's just so much to learn. We can't cover everything all the time.
Absolutely.
But Jiggy, I love him to death, but he dropped the ball on my wrestling training.
So
just want that out there for the record.
Okay, so I'm assuming Jenna Jameson, she gets into this thing because she basically filmed those vignettes with Val Venus back in the day and was part of the thing with and little known secret. Apparently they filmed all those in Bruce Pritchard's hot tub. And also Vince didn't want anything to do with Jenna Jameson because she just looked too dirty.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This coming from Vincent Kennedy McMahon, but pal. So first of all, let's start with the Jenna thing.
Okay.
What was her reaction, and how did all that go down?
Okay, so here's, in all transparency, okay, I am also new to the wrestling world, okay? So
okay, really?
Okay, well I'm from the Hulk Hogan era. I'm showing my age here. I am from the Hulk Hogan era. That's where I came from.
That's all I know is Hulk Hogan.
After that, it's like, what happened?
And the guy with the Slim Jim.
Yes, and I had to
Gotta
be an adult and could not do that any longer. So that's how it goes. So I get reintroduced to this wrestling world by the Manimal, who, as you know, like, how does it keep coming back to the Manimal?
It always comes back to the Manimal. It always comes.
So apparently he used to, or is, or was a ECW wrestler as part of the Pitbulls. Okay.
Yes.
So he actually created the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame because he found that there was not a place that could honor these women. Right. So this is where, if you look at the website, it's pretty robust with a lot of, women wrestlers. So there is this sports thing that we went to yesterday out in Brentwood, Long Island. And we went there and I'm like, okay, well, what are we doing? All right. So as you can imagine, working with the Manimal is can be a little tense. Okay? And so he's like, oh yeah, you're just going to go interview. You're going to give out some plaques. And I'm like, who?
Give out some plaques. Here, you throw out some plaques,
some plaques, right? And I'm like, okay, well, to who? Who are these people? So I had to do my research. I knew Jenna Jameson was in wrestling. I knew she was in porn, right? So she wound up getting an ambassador plaque. And, I meet with her, I talk with her. And I just, for Women's History Month, I just really want to acknowledge all the work that she's done. And I said, honest to goodness, you're like the only name I remember. Okay. Like when you think about like old school porn, like old school for me, I'm a Gen Xer. Okay. Like, so she was a household name. Right. And so having the opportunity to meet her was amazing. Because one, she's just a very dynamic person, right? Yep. You go from porn to like quasi wrestling kind of thing. And then you're now doing the circuit. Right. So, one of the best things that I had in the conversation with her, just as like outside the interview, is like, it's really amazing that people, because the adult industry world is short-lived, right? You're only as good as your last scene kind of thing.
Yep, very true.
Right?
Yep.
And so, and that those scenes, like, unfortunately, it's like, somebody up and coming comes up and they're the hot big ticket, right? And so you lose that momentum pretty quickly. Yeah. And one of the best things that I talked to her about is like, her transitioning out of the adult industry and, trying to make a name for herself. And she said, I don't want to be recognized for my vagina. And I'm just saying to myself, well, you say Jenna Jameson and you're kind of like,
yeah.
So, she's made a name for herself, and one of the things that I really resonated with me is like, yeah, that's the name you made for yourself and you should be proud because you were in the adult industry and there's nothing wrong with the adult industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that people are constantly weaponizing. Right. But if those are your roots, those are your roots. But look at you now, like you've come this far, you've done amazing things. So she was very grateful for that. And, she's just her pathway has just been really nice. And it was nice to see her in person. But
she's fabulous.
Yeah, she is. And she's just a genuinely sweet person and very, very kind and loving and just very accepting of the award we gave her. And she was shocked, really. She was. It's like, wow, I didn't know I made that much of a difference. And I go, well, you do because you say your name and you're automatically, it's like, oh, Jenna Jameson. And so, but yeah, so that was my, interaction with her. And thank goodness I had, a gentleman who was there with us yesterday. His name is Mark Santana. He's like our graphics person, and so he's one of those guys who, like, lack of better term, a gooner, right? Who watches a lot of wrestling, and I'm like, Chuck, you're my ace in the hole. I need you here to help me.
I go, God,
gotta let me know.
He knew who Victoria was.
He knew all of them. All of them. All of them.
There you go.
Like, this person, give me the 411. I need to know right now before I talk to them. Like, give me.
Right.
Like,
Melina did the splits thing before she would get in the ring.
Yes, yeah. So, I met with Melina and Victoria, and just amazing people. I just in a very male-dominated industry, right? Synonymous with the adult industry, very male-dominated. Correct. It's like you have these up-and-comings. And they're not even up, but they're legends, right? And when I did the research, like Melina had only had a very short span career, right, on there. And then she was just kind of known for being the underdog, right? And the people that people didn't like. And then, Victoria was another. She had quite a long span career. So it was just very genuine people. And you wouldn't think that way about them because all you see is this outside image of what's portrayed. And you can parallel that to the adult industry world. Like you see this image of them, but hey, no, they're real people with real feelings and they're good people. So yeah, so it was nice to be a part of that. So
well, and Victoria got into the business, as they say. She was one of these people that came in part of the fitness model craze with Trish Stratus and all those people. So she was that part of it.
Yeah.
Kind of the tail end of all the various things, and of course, which I don't believe that this was. I ever remember anyone calling her this, but according to her Wikipedia, she was at one point one of her ring names was the head bitch in charge.
Nice.
I don't quite know if that is actually true, but okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
So you did that. And then, are you planning on doing this as a regular thing? Are you guys gonna go?
Yeah, it's going to be more of
this.
So, what the Manimal has discovered is that I can interview people really well and I can improv really well, but years of public speaking will do that for you. So, and a lot of Toastmasters will do that for you. So he's kind of thrust me into this role of non-project management. And here, go interview people because they seem to like you. And so after, doing this and I'm talking, I was like, I'm a regular person, right? They're like, yeah, but most people who come on these like things and interview people are these people are people who are just, they don't have a lot to say. They're just like, they're usually like super fans kind of thing. And they're the ones doing like these little mini podcasts and these interviews. And so, yeah, they're like, I go, what, because I have a personality? And I'm like, so, but yeah, so I've been thrust in this position of now interviewing people along with all of the other little tasks that I've been assigned.
Perfect, because I think 2 weeks after Exotica in Chicago is WrestleMania in Vegas.
Yeah,
he needs to take you to Vegas.
Yep, for sure.
You can go hang out with all the marks.
Yeah.
Or as this guy used to call them, Mizarks. Okay, so you've been around the Russian long enough, to do all this stuff with wrestling. Has he gotten you to speak Carney yet? Do you speak Carney at all?
No, not yet. We're not quite.
You guys should work
not
on
quite Carney level yet.
That's awesome. That would be great.
It is now like, it's getting warmer here on the East Coast. So I'm thinking there's some Carneys going to be coming around,
That would be great.
So
he needs to get in Chicago. When we meet up, we need to teach you some Carney.
Definitely.
We've got the Thotty Godmother with us today. She is fantastic. She is available on the Twitter machine. Thotty Godmother, which is just I love the name. Thotty Godmother. It's just absolutely amazing. She's also on Chatterbait at Thotty Godmother. And she is, of course, on that lovely, lovely place that I love so much, FetLife. She is there as Thotty Godmother.
Yes.
So yes, I do love the FetLife. So Thotty Godmother is with us today. So feminization architect, smart, sexy, witty, and sublime, not to be confused with the band Sublime. So let's talk a little bit about this. What in the world is a feminization architect?
So a feminization architect is just that, is somebody who builds, right? You design and you build, right? So I've taken, and from our last conversation that we had that we kind of like dipped our feet into, right?
Yes.
As we mentioned before, what you will typically see in feminization is, like I said, hardcore fantasy, right? And hardcore fantasy is fine if that is what you're looking for. However, I have found that it just doesn't work, right? For your average person who is looking to be feminized, right? Your average, male who is looking to be feminized at whatever capacity, right? So I decided to really do a bit of a rebrand and discover what I could bring to the table, right? What does that look like for somebody? And having others that I have worked with in the past, as you know, Christy and Nina, how
Yes.
I brought them up. And I brought them up through love, right? Through caring about them, right? And designing an image for them that works, right? I don't cookie cutter anybody into anything, right? So when you're building your own house and you have your architectural design, right? What are the kind of things that you want in there? Is there a certain nook you want somewhere? Is there something that you'd like to see special?
Slave dungeon, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a kink dungeon, whatever.
Yeah,
like, I'd like a space where I can put my St. Andrew's cross. I want it curated just to me, right? So I don't cookie cutter anybody into feminization, right? I work with them and I make sure that they're meeting the needs that they've set forth, right? And the goals that they've set forth. So as I told Jiggy earlier, I do have a new person here with me, Princess Alina. She's in she's in the office with me right now on the side, and she's listening in. She's my support team right now. And this is the first time I'm meeting her. And I'm very proud of her. And if it's okay, I'd like to speak a little bit about her. And she's
absolutely. This is a conversation, not an interrogation. So yes, please go right ahead. Feel free. Yeah.
So Miss Alina actually met me on X, right? She sent me a message and she wanted to know what I was about. And she had seen some of the things I was doing and she really enjoyed it. So the next steps were, I was like, I'd like to have a session with you. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's plan something out. Right. And then as it gets a little bit further, she's like, I just wanted to let you know I'm 21. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like,
all right.
This is, so I actually had to, and I was talking to her about this earlier. I said, I had to really take a step back and say, hey, look, 21 is a very ripe age, right? Could I move forward and say, yeah, absolutely, let's do this? I had to conscientiously say, is 21 too young, right, for me to work with, right? Because as I know, brains are still developing, body, that can be a very tenuous time for a young person, right? They may not know exactly, what they want, in their regular lives, let alone in this kink-based life, right?
Correct.
So I almost, when I was, talking to, as you know, my partner Bisha, who were working on the feminization school, I really had to get some sound advice from them. I was like, hey, look, this is what I'm dealing with. Do you think this is the right place for them? Do you believe that we can get them to achieve, whatever their goal is in this moment? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. You just have to be extra careful. You just have to be, remember what it was like to be 21, right? And so when we got to talking, we were talking earlier, actually spent a lot of time earlier just talking to them, getting to know them. And that's one of the first things I do. I will never come in there. It's like, oh, you want feminization? It's like, we're going to do this all in 1 hour. And yeah, sure. I don't do that. I actually spend a lot more time with them because I want to get to know them. And they were telling me about their experiences that they'd had with a previous dom who was online and how it just was not fulfilling for them. So what, and this is, again, it's a constant thing that I'm hearing. It's like, oh, I'm going to go to an online dom or a pro dom. And what happens is she was getting multiple tasks to do, which is fine. If you're looking for dom, like a DS, right? Submissives are usually given multiple tasks to do. So with her, it was during October and she'd have to send pictures on wherever, whatever platform it was, and multiple tasks. I'm like, look, you're not going to become feminized by picking up 12 paper clips. Okay. That's what we're not doing here. Okay.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be the way that I would do it. I'm gonna go pick up the 12 paper clips. Okay, we're done. On to the next.
We're done. I'm feminized. We're good. I don't see the correlation between paper clips and feminization. I don't know. It's more of a personal thing to me. So we got to talking, and so I had to be in this space for about an hour, right? Before even getting to anywhere. And so getting to understand her, and then I'm like, all right, like, tell me what your history is. What have you done before? Right. And so she hasn't really been able to dress up and be in a place where she can be open about herself. And she hasn't learned any makeup techniques. She had some clothes and stuff. So versus, she already knew Cassie. I am wearing her keys. Like, she gave me her keys.
All right. It's very important. Yeah.
Very important.
A big step. Very
big
step.
It is. And so it's funny because we were talking and she's like, well, part of the reason I wear chastity is because I don't want to get aroused. I was like, well, you have a woman who's scantily clad in front of you. If you don't get aroused, we may be having a problem here, right? So
very true.
So, but again, I love the aesthetic. I love the way it looks. Like, you got to be sexy, right? If you can't be sexy, then why, right? You know. So we did that. We sat. We put makeup on, and I sent her pictures, and she's here, like, just loving the pictures. She's like, I never knew this would happen, and I love it. And it's just like that the wow. It's just like, it makes my heart really, you know, happy when I can do that for people, because, as you know, a lot of times sissies, cross-dressers are very, very isolated. Their world is so isolated. And again, I just wanted to kind of just take point to the fact that, yes, there is like a whole spectrum. I like to call it the trans spectrum, right? There's sissy, cross-dresser, there's trans.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm glad you're saying that, because we addressed that on the last show.
Yeah.
When we had everybody on there. And yeah, definitely walk through it and kind of explain too, if you don't mind, when you're done with the walk. What I'd like to do is, like, I'd like a couple things to know. So I'll ask a question here now. So thinking about it, like, how do you see where you fit in with the architecture on that? And does you and the offerings you provide, do you also, like, kind of come in if they're like, if they've already started the journey? Do you and your company and your team offer stuff at later points and so on? But please first do describe it, because I think you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Letting us know what that looks like, what that, you know, analysis of that spectrum of where everybody's fitting at.
Yeah.
I love that you did that, but please walk through, and I would like to know a couple of those other points.
Absolutely. So yes, thank you for, you know, acknowledging that there is a trans spectrum, right? And so, excuse me, a couple of times, just to kind of go back, it's like, we are so good about weaponizing things all the time, right?
Yep.
Whatever
Welcome to humanity.
Like,
that's what I would say. Welcome to humanity.
Welcome to humanity. It's like, I can't even tell people that I go to the nude beach, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, I just don't like tan lines in children. Like, you know what I mean?
There you go.
No tan lines at the nude beach and no children at the nude beach.
Exactly.
Perfect. I love it. So we will get weaponized for using the word sissy, right? We will get and you know who we get weaponized by? Trans people. They're like, oh, we don't like that word. It's not a good word. It's a bad word. I'm like, it's still a word, right?
Wouldn't it be something too that some of these individuals identify with too, wouldn't it?
Right.
All right. Okay.
So if you identify as a sissy, right? So there's in my version of the trans spectrum, right? So you have a sissy, you have a cross-dresser, and then you have somebody who is in transition and somebody who has fully transitioned, right? And this could be, when I talk about the fully transitioned people, they may or may not be in the kink. They may be transitioning because this is the life that they wanted to lead. To live their life as a woman or a man, right? So that is regardless of whether or not they're in the kink, right? And so you have sissies and cross-dressers who happen to be more aligned with the kink, right? Because they're the ones who are actively seeking out that porn, right? They're looking for the hypno porn. They're looking for the sissy porn. They may not even be looking for trans porn, because if you think about sissy, there's a definite, when you say sissy, you think of a look, right? You're thinking of the pink schoolgirl outfit, you know, the frills, and they may have the dress with like the crinoline and things like that on it. Yes, that's the sissy. And there's different iterations of that too, right? You may not be able to invest thousands of dollars in a what I'd like to call a proper sissy outfit that has the crinoline, this and that, the way it's very expensive.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
And so what I found is that most people in that space are just getting some stuff on Amazon. They're getting a wig, they're getting some lipstick, they're putting on the stuff whenever they can. They may choose to, and the other isolating part of this as well is that many of them are with families, right? They can't tell anybody.
They can't. Yep.
They can't tell anybody. So they're having to kind of go maybe find a hotel for an afternoon where they can even just dress up by themselves, and they're happy with that, right? And they're okay.
Very true.
And who am I to judge what brings you happy, right? That's your happy, then go do it.
Exactly.
Right. And same with the cross dressers, right? So you'll have cross dressers who are a little different as well. Like they may dress on the weekend, and they're the ones who actually kind of go out. They will go out. You may see them, and it's hard too because they're not really accepted in gay bars,
No, they are not.
right?
Yeah.
So where are they to go, right? Here I'm in New Jersey, and we have a couple of trans parties where they can go but again, it's on a Friday. How many people that that have family situations or that can get away like that? Oh, by the way, I'm taking this whole backpack full of stuff with me. I'm gonna go to this hotel down the road and
there you go, change and head out for the night.
Yeah. And it's so funny. Even with Miss Alina here, she's like she was leaving her house, and they're like, "Where are you going with all that stuff?" And I'm like,
Well, and it is a difficult thing to kind of progress through. So, do you find then, talking about the spectrum and then kind of come back to the points later that we question on where you are with that, like how do you serve? And I say serve, I mean that from the company standpoint.
Yeah.
So you're at that point where you kind of like, all right, well, they're doing this, they're kind of cross-dressing. So like you said, they're going out and they're being they're self-identifying in public.
Yes.
Right. So they're self-identifying in public. They're saying to people, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. Now you have that. For the next point that I was curious about was if somebody like, I want to go back to the question. So I come to you, pretend I'm a cross-dresser or whatever. I come to you now, or maybe I'm comfortable, and all that. And I just want that extra help kind of keep going forward. Do you come in there and how do you kind of approach that?
Absolutely.
Somebody who's maybe a little bit further down the journey line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had multiple people like that who come by, and 9 times out of 10, they just want somebody to acknowledge them, right? They just want somebody to say, hey, it's okay. We're in the space. Like you can do makeup here. And 9 times out of 10, it's makeup tutorials, right? It's dressing tutorials. It's because many of them don't even have a woman that they can bounce ideas off of. They don't have a woman to fix their bra. They don't have a woman to fix their corset. They don't have somebody to put their wig on for them.
But thankfully, Jiggy always fixes my bra whenever we're out together.
Jiggy, that's
very,
one
very
of the
helpful.
things. It's,
very sweet man.
You should always be able to fix a bra, or at least a panty line, or something like that. If you're not a true
our guy Big Will fixes my panty line, but
there you go.
Jiggy does the bra. Yeah,
well, that's a team.
Yeah, it's got to be teamwork makes the dream work.
Like
Absolutely.
Honestly, if I was somewhere and I was out and one of my team let me walk around with some messed up panty line or bra line, I'd be upset. I'd be like, you're not making.
Help me out. Yeah, exactly. Help me out.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you bring that up. So you do offer then to help out if they've already had
absolutely
some experience.
Yes.
And of that, what is your feeling on how's the approach? Yeah. Obviously, you always come from a place of love and respect and making sure everybody's in a safe space. Great.
Yes.
But how do you assess at that point, being like from the perspective of a business person? How do you make the assessment at that point?
So the assessment is always going to be the same, right? It's the conversations that we're going to have leading up to. And then I will usually I will find most people on FetLife and I will look up their socials, right? I will see what is going on with your socials. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I like to see where they're at with their journey. And then I'm going to talk with them and say, hey, look, what are your goals for this, right? What do you want to do? Do you want to improve on your makeup techniques? Do you want to just have somebody to talk to? You want somebody to validate you? What does that look like for you? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, oh, I need help with my makeup technique, right? I'm going to need help with dressing, because nobody ever wants to say, oh, I need validation, right? Nobody is ever going to say, oh, I'm feeling like shit. My whole family hates me, and all I want to do is just put makeup on and just be somewhere, right? So they come to me, we meet, we talk, and then through that conversation, it is just that they're often looking for the validation. They're looking for a woman, to say, you look good. You look pretty fucking good,
Shit. Yeah.
Let me put your makeup on and get you to like looking fantastic.
Nice.
And so every time I do their makeup, they're like, oh my gosh, I never thought I could. I was like, you were always beautiful. Right? You just needed somebody to help you and tell you that you're beautiful and show you
That's
the
beautiful.
technique.
That is a beautiful statement in and of itself. That's great.
And they all look lovely, like, regardless of how they came in, I get the makeup on, I get the lashes, and they're just like, oh, it's like, they're like, wow. And then I'm like, so I make sure when I do the tutorials, I'm going very detailed as to what I use and things like that.
Oh, wow.
And, and the biggest thing is like probably covering up the 5 o'clock shadow and things like that. So, and they're always they're very self-conscious about it. Like,
makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm laughing because I'm sitting here thinking about it. Man, I would never have thought of that.
Yeah. And so it's not like they're on hormones, right? A lot of them are not on hormones.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the hormones are going to suppress that, hair growth and things like that. And then 2, they're not getting laser. They're not for like, for trans women who have fully or very close to transition, they're getting their laser, they're getting facial feminization surgery. Their hormones are bringing out the nice skin that you would have like when your body's full of estrogen, right? So the hardest part is really just getting them to cover that 5 o'clock shadow, right? Wow. And once you teach them that, their face looks 1,000% different, right? Their face softens, and so they're like, wow. And then you get the wig on. Oh, it's a great transformation, and they really enjoy it. And they're able to take those things that were taught to them and do them themselves. So for the next time, and I said, listen, don't spend your money on makeup. Just go to Dollar Tree. It's fine.
Dollar Tree.
It's really okay. It's really okay.
Oh my God.
So that's the journey for them. And then admittedly, I say everybody who comes to to my graces leaves satisfied. So I say you are going to release at the end of this, because that's part of the kink, right? I don't have sex with my clients or anything like that, and I don't show nudity, but trust me, we'll get you there. You're gonna have a good time with me. So
love that spark account. That's awesome, Thotty. That is awesome.
You're gonna have a good time. So whatever it is, if they want to use toys, I have collection of toys. Like, listen, let's have some fun here. I like having fun. Let me put on the black gloves. We're good.
That is awesome.
That's wonderful.
Great guest for this today. The Thotty Godmother joins me and Giovanni Valentino this week here on Porn Stars on the Skyhawk After Dark Radio Network. We're also on BitChute, Rumble, Cloud Hub, all various places. And the Thotty Godmother is available on Twitter, and Thotty Godmother is also on as well, which is a whole nother kettle of fish.
Yes, that's my son's place.
Very, very angry.
Hey, Jiggy, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't know if Thotty got me here, but I think you're fading in and out, and there's a little bit of static reverb in your voice. Not sure if you're hearing us. And there he did. He had to go. Well, while he's gone, I want to go ahead and just take a moment, break for a second, kind of thank our sponsors. We have a sponsor that we really do love and care about. Speaking of, they're very FetLife friendly. As a matter of fact, that's where they started off. It's STD Hero. They make the ultimate hero. They started off making STD Hero kits for people in the lifestyle so they could play safe, stay safe, sexual wellness, well-being, all part of it. And that's kind of where they began. They sort of realized, hey, we can turn this into something for porn stars. So that's where STD Hero sort of said, hey, well, we're going to go into the Ultimate Hero, and we're going to be PASS certified, Laboratories CLIA certified. So that way folks can not have to be looking for a Quest or a TTS or a lab test now. They can do it in the safety of their own home Better Life Science made this STD Hero the ultimate hero package. It's safe, it's fast, effective. As soon as you turn it back in, they get in a business day. It takes about a couple business days to get back. But the best part is pass certified from STD Heroes, the ultimate hero. It allows us to all stay safe, especially while we make content and we do those things. And even more importantly, like we talk about FetLife a lot on here today, FetLifers, get on top of staying clean. Health and wellness are important, especially sexually, especially for the naughty bits. You want to make sure to preserve those so you can continue having your fun. So get with STD Heroes, the ultimate hero for those of us in porn. They have just a standard STD hero for those of us that are in the lifestyle. Also, you can do that. But for those of us that also perform, got a little bit of an upgrade: gold panel, swabs, all that fun stuff, the naughty MGen, all the nasty things that can happen. Right? You get stay clean, play clean. And, STD Hero, Ultimate Hero is available now. Go over to Better Life Science. Look up STD Hero, the Ultimate Hero. Don't drive around looking for just graduated from high school phlebotomist who pokes you 20 times, makes you look like a heroin addict. It's safe, easy, fun to do at home. Chain of custody secured, genetic markers are secured. No way to falsify the test or the results. So go ahead, everybody. The only pro you really need to know, it's the only basis for your existence, is the real STD Hero, the ultimate hero, the true pro you need to know in at-home kits for testing, both for the lifestyle and for the professional pornographer.
Absolutely.
So
them up there. That's actually a pretty good product for STD Hero. I like the fact that they had the lifestyle and then the pro testing,
yes,
which would apply to like multiple people in the lifestyle, because being exposed to the industry makes you more aware of everything else that's going on. And
Lord, yeah.
Who would ever think to ask for MGen? Like who, what? It's
no
like,
one would, and I'm glad you said that, Thotty, because it's one thing, I think also for myself, I don't do as much playing as I did before I started making content for me personally, just because, I was like, I know that some of these people are a little less than stellar on the, like how regularly they're getting tested.
Correct.
But I think the affordability of Better Life Sciences, just standard STD Hero Kit for lifestyle people, that is the kind of thing. Like if I know people are getting tested and they're using correct things, like that, I think it's a good thing. And now I don't have a problem getting back in lifestyle as a result of having a professional, a truly great kit like the one Better Life Science does from STD Heroes is fantastic. And you're right, it's better to be for all of us to be safe.
It is. And just to think about it, like if you're working your regular your 9-to-5 job and you have insurance through them, and you don't necessarily want your insurance to know like that you're getting tested like every month, every 2 weeks, whatever the cadence is, because it's all showing up on your insurance, right? And it could go like, say you're out in you go to Kaiser or whatever, here you go to like whatever medical group is here, like
right,
all known through different platforms, right? Do I really want people knowing my business kind of like that? Not really. Is it just easier for me to pay $150, get like the test with
absolutely,
basic test with it comes with MGen? Perfect.
Get everything you need right here in the Ultimate Hero Kit. That's it.
Yeah,
it was one kit to rule them all, everybody.
Good stuff. I highly recommend.
I do too. And I sorry everybody, I did, for those of us that know Patrick Palmer, I pulled a Patrick Palmer today. Our good friend over at Just Talking. He always likes to grab the product, put it up on the screen. So a little shout out to him for that, teaching me that little trick. But yeah, you're right. And that's something that I was going to ask you too, because we talked a little bit about, how a lot of times when folks are just starting off, you talked about coming out of place for love. And I think that's good. Though a lot of times I think when people first encounter this type of porn, I can say that for me, how I did when I first like the sissy and it always felt like they just grabbed someone who was starting, and then there's the face fucking, and then they just kind of got into it, right? So what is your feelings? I mean, and just about that, how do you work with somebody who maybe they kind of already started doing that, and that was just like they want to, like, what is that, and how do you perceive all that, and how do you kind of work through that if that's kind of how they've already been introduced?
So if that was your introduction, and I will be very honest with you,
yes,
in the sissy and CD world, unless they're going out to a lot of gangbangs and things like that, it's probably not going to happen. It's going to be hardcore fantasy, right? It's something that they're looking to attain. Now, if they've been playing a lot, and they should be testing too, right? Shameless plug.
That testing, folks. That testing. Yeah.
They're going to a lot of gangbangs and parties and stuff like that, and the events and things like that. Then that is all that they're going to be used to, right? So I tell them, and again, if this is what you want, if you just want to be used for the orifices on your body, then fine, right? Then you continue on that trajectory.
Gotcha.
Right? A lot of times they are not going to be coming to me, right? Because they are happy doing that. They're happy being
all right.
They're happy being whores. If that's what you want to be, do it safely. Okay?
Well, I'm always happy being a whore myself, but that's just speaking for me candidly. I'm speaking candidly,
Okay. Do it right. All right. So they're not going to come to me, right? Because they've already got their pathway. They like what they're doing. Sometimes I've had a couple who have come to me who have already had play partners, right? And they want to come to me for more feminization. Like, how do I make myself look better for my partner? What do I need to do? Because they've already been on that trajectory where it's been very closeted, and they're only doing it when they get to a hotel. So they're coming to me looking for tips, like, how do I improve? Or the other thing is that they want me to come in when their partner is there, and then it gets into the kink, right? Then it's no longer feminization, it's like degradation. Okay. That's where the dom stuff will come in, and they really do enjoy that. If you've ever like a couple of the videos that I've done with Christy in the past is where I've been there just degrading her the whole time, and when she's had a partner over, and so what happens is that the partner gets really, really hard, right? Because now you have this the sissy CD trans person, and then you have a cis woman who's just yelling and degrading and instructing that whoever the sissy is what to do. It turns into a whole different dynamic, and the sex between them winds up becoming that much more hotter, right?
Correct.
Because you're getting it all. You have the visceral, somebody's right there in front of you, right? You're seeing them, and now you have an auditory, right, of like what you would typically only hear in porn. Right now it's like live and in person, right? Yeah. And it's like, it's great, and I'm for it. I'm like,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm getting really horny here too. I'm like, when this is over, I'm about to jump in.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So that's where I will come in, and I have been asked that multiple times. It's like,
okay,
with my top, my bull, and so it's funny because the bull like never knows what to expect, right? They're like, oh, let's check, and then they see me like, oh wow, and I'm like,
oh my God.
Then they're done. It's game over. It's a wrap. It's best sex ever. Best sex ever.
I love it. I love it.
So
I want to switch gears here because I keep staring at your name at the bottom by the Chiron as we're down, talking about all this. Where did you get the name? I mean, I don't know if you guys covered it before I jumped on, but Thotty Godmother. First off, props out. Great use of the word thought.
Yes.
Great use of play towards fairy godmother. Again, genius. I fucking love it.
Thank you.
Where did you come up with this?
Okay, so thank you for that. Great question. Great story. Okay, so as I look at the time here, let's see how many minutes I can do it in this time. So when I, again, working in an office, I'm working with all these. I'm a true to form Gen Xer. Trust me, I'm much younger than I actually am. I'm much older than I actually look. Okay, and so I was going through a divorce, right? And so I was separated, and again, like
I've been there. I know how you're talking. Yeah, I've been there.
Been there, done that. Previously polyamorous, got married thinking it would fix that and fixed nothing. And so going through the divorce, and I was dating, right? And so we would be going out, like after dinner, after work drinks and stuff like that. So I'd going out with these younger girls, and who are also dating. And I would just like to say the dating pool is shit. All over the place. Good luck to anybody now who is dating there. I don't know how you guys manage. So anyway, we're out there and they're like, oh, who are you dating? And then like, I'm showing them pictures. I'm like, how'd you get that one? I'm like, oh no, they're there. They want a MILF. I don't know. They're coming to me. Somebody get somebody's son. Like it's true. Like literally, like, please come get your son. Okay. And so I'm showing them these pictures. So we go out again and they're like, oh, I have a nickname for you. I was like, what's your nickname? And they're like, you're the Thotty Godmother. You make wishes come true. And I was like, what? I love it. I was gifted.
So that was a gifted nickname.
It was a gifted nickname from
Holy
my
shit.
2 coworkers. Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
I love it.
I rolled with it. And then, diving deeper into the use of the word thotty, right? You could call somebody a thought and they're like the worst thing ever, but because Beyonce's actually used it in a couple of songs too, and you change the connotation to it, it's like, oh, you're thotty, you're hot, right? Kind of like you can call somebody a cunt and they're a cunt, but you call somebody cunty, that means they're a ruthless bitch, So, there's the play on the names, right? And then the Godmother come in, it's like, you're just making wishes come true. I was like, absolutely. I will.
Oh my God, that's fucking genius.
Make your wish come true.
Oh, Lord, I love it. I love it.
So, yeah. So
it's best to be, the bequeathing of the name. I think to bequeath upon you, but people that know you and that love you and that I think that is phenomenal. I was going to say, were you workshopping it and you had a whiteboard in a conference room? That's what I was kind of wondering about that.
No, there was no naming convention. Okay, no naming convention. Okay, there was no.
Didn't stick it in the grok or whatever. Yeah,
like you said, it was bequeathed to me. So.
Oh my God, that's fucking amazing. I love it.
Yes, so
you learned it. You heard it here first on the Jiggy Jaguar Show. Fucking around with porn stars. Fantastic. I love it. Amazing.
So yeah.
So where do you want to go next with this discussion?
Yeah, like where do you want to go, Thotty? Is there some news that you need that's coming out? Something you're launching? Anything you want to talk about? The floor is yours.
I would love to, talk about the feminization school, which I did touch on the last time with Vijay, who we all know and love, who is all the way out there in California, who did have his own feminization school, and he took it from a different approach. He uses more holistic. He taps into feminine energy. He tries to do like healing with men and understanding how they want to be in their sissy process as well. Plus he adds a sex element to it, not gonna lie, right? And so we partnered together and we're like, all right, let's do this a little differently. Let's take everything that's out there and not do it. Okay, let's take this approach that is people centric. All right. And like I said before, I don't want to cookie cutter anything. Okay. I don't want to cookie cutter into saying, go and watch 20 hours of hypno, then come back to me and go put chastity on and go kneel in the corner and send me a picture and go do all of this menial stuff that is just, it's menial, right? If you're going to come to us, your experience is going to be organic. Your experience is going to be catered to you. Right. However that looks. All right. So I'll be out in California in a couple. We were actually doing another. I'm going out to. So we're going to see Kanye is what we're going to do, and in California, and then we're going to kind of work on our projects together, and then we're going to Exotica in Chicago together.
All right.
When we're in Chicago, we're going to probably wind up doing our own things because he'll be shooting content, I'll be doing whatever, right? And so we're looking to really.
Well, I have offered you a spot.
Yes.
So
we'll definitely take it. I will definitely. Take it.
Well, let me ask you something. I want to talk about the content thing because you do stress. Mm-hmm. You don't bring the content into the feminization aspects of it. Mm-hmm. Let the audience know why.
So I feel that content, and let's talk about content, like the sex part of it, right? you know, the degradation stuff, like, you know, the hardcore stuff, right? I will film with my feminization students, right?
Okay.
Because everybody is very interested into what I actually do. So a lot of it is like the makeup, like you saw the Feminization 101. So that's like the new series that I've been recording.
And it's hot. I think, I mean, it's definitely, it's
like,
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
It's like therapy and kink, right?
Oh, I never thought. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, I'm having these conversations with people. I'm putting on makeup, and as the kind of as the makeup progresses, you can almost see the level of like confidence rising with my student. It's like they're getting there, and they're getting comfortable, and they're being okay. And this is all after like I've been with them for at least an hour before that, just chit-chatting with them, right? Before I even get into anything, right? And so I'll be talking, and then we do the makeup, and then all of a sudden it's like, even with Miss Alina today, every time I did something, and she'd look in the mirror, she's like, oh my God. And you can just see the bubbling. And that's what I love. Right. And as well with Vija, like that's what we both love. It's like that progression into something that you want to be. And like I said, I'm not going to force anything on you. I'm not going to do hardcore stuff. Right. So the content will be that talking part of it. Right. And it will be the kink, and there will be.
Okay.
That is the real content part of it is more the back and forth, like kind of what we're doing here. We're having the banter, we're talking.
Right.
And as the show is kind of progressing, you can see like the ebb and flow and the ups and downs and how you take it there. And by the end of the show, you should be leaving on a very high point, right? It's
exactly.
It's a natural progression, right? For any, like for somebody who's presented nationally and things like that, you want that ebb and flow, and you want to end up on
absolutely
that point, right? So when you're coming out of it, you're like, and this will be your business part of it, right? So when you're coming out of your session or whatever you're doing, you're like, they feel good. I want more. I want the next steps. Or they're like,
correct.
Like this, let me do my own thing. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be, I want more. I really enjoyed this. I felt good. I felt comfortable. I felt safe. And I want more. I will look pretty again. And, you know,
there it is.
There it is, you know, and sometimes that's all, like I said, that's all they need. And then they get to, then we play a little more, and then I get them to squirt, and then that's all good. So
I think that's beautiful. That's amazing. So now I got to ask the question: are we ever going to see? Are you ever going to attempt this with the Manimal, the Russian Manimal himself? Has he ever expressed any interest, or are we allowed to talk about that, or is that
absolutely,
is that classified because Moscow says niet?
Yep. No, it is not. It is not classified information. So one of the things, and as you know, for the Russian Manimal Volkov, we are still in production, and we are a bit of a ragtag team. Okay.
I love him too.
You know, we've got Cassandra Lovett, who is here.
Yes, I love Cassandra. Yes.
Yes. T.S. Stacy Lynn.
I know. Love. Yes.
Yeah, she's part of the like the production crew. We're actually having a Zoom meeting later just to kind of go over things. And so that's, and Marcia Maraschino, which is Chris's, the Manimal's wife, right? So we're the team who is trying to manage this gentleman to do work, right? And so he has a lot of ideas. I love ideas, but as a strategist, I love things on paper as well. And so
yes.
I like a good outline. I enjoy a good outline.
We haven't seen Jiggy's paperwork outlines yet. They are the stuff of legend in his notebooks.
Listen,
it's the laboratory notebook from the movie Memento sometimes. It scares me, but I love it. But I love it.
I love that. And one of the best things is like, you show me a piece of paper with like 12,000 things on it. Like,
all Jiggy's missing, because I love him, that he's missing the pins with the strings.
Yes, I want you to tell me.
This person's walking across over to Giovanni's room to do the interview, and I'm just like, can I just get this electronically on a spreadsheet?
Sometimes paper just does it for me.
Yeah, you two are birds of a feather. That I love that.
Show me a piece of paper, it'll stick into my memory really well. So the Manimal is because as you know, he was an experiment. He was a soldier.
It was a lab, yeah.
Yeah, he was a lab experiment that was born out of a kink dungeon. They ran out of funding when it came to the brain part, right? So he managed to escape. He gets to America. He's on the wrestling circuit, and now we're trying to heal him and fix him. Okay. One of the things is that he's discovering that he's polyamorous. Okay. And that he also enjoys not just, standard issue. He likes all like genders and affinities. And
like a good Russian. He likes a bit of everything, comrade. Like good Russian.
Yeah. So he's going to have some relationships. He's going to have some relationship with some trans stars, with some cis stars, and he's going to like try and navigate all of those rocky waters. Right.
I'll put my name in the hat. I'd like to have some one-on-one time with my fellow vodka drinker.
There you go.
We film this, make hot porn. Yeah.
Yes. He has multiple love interests that he's trying to navigate himself, and he's honestly always questioning himself. It's like, is this right? I think I was told this was not supposed to be right. And we're just like, well, does it feel right? Do you feel happy?
It feels right.
It feels right. If I always say, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. But if it feels right, do it.
There it is.
Yeah. So
I love it.
So that is the Manimals thing. So there will be elements of trying to understand what his sexuality
that's like bringing a little feminine energy into it, right? Yeah. A little perspective from the other side of the equation.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's great. I think that's fabulous. Thank you so much for answering that question.
You're welcome.
Because Jiggy knows I'm a big fan of the Russian Animal, so it's like, he so of course I'm always going to show him love.
Shaking his head. He's like,
amazing.
Love that guy. I really fucking do. I love that fucking guy.
He's a character to work with. And we've been doing a lot of filming lately. This week we're also doing like kind of side projects too.
Oh, good.
Getting into, the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. And then there's the other one. It's a new Nemhoff New England Music Hall of Fame, which are both projects that Chris started because of his connections within both of those industries. So we do a lot of interviews. We go out there and we were interviewing a band on Friday. We went to the wrestling event. Next week, we're going up to Syracuse and we're going to, I guess, see some of the American Gladiators, and we're going to a collector's con up there. And I'm being thrown into all this, I'll be
like you're finding your little journalistic, you're got more into the journalistic side of yourself.
I know it's fun. I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed
That's great.
This part of thing. And I believe that all industries are very similar.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And as a people working person, which is what I really enjoy doing, it's like, how do you manage people to get them to deliver an amazing product, right?
Well, that's true. It's a lot of work, a lot more work than most people realize.
It is. So like, kudos to you two to really bringing up this industry. One, being newer to the adult content industry and seeing all the nuances of, podcasts and this and that. I really do enjoy the work that you guys bring to the table.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You had
Thank
you. There was a blues band on here the other day. Oh my gosh, I can't recall the name, but anyways.
Oh yeah, you watched my Ghost Town Blues Band?
Yeah, I liked it. I really liked it. I like their work. I followed them on YouTube.
Yeah, wow.
Some of their work
has
a very Zydeco feel to it. Right?
I'm a big fan of that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I love the Zydeco feel to it.
I love a good Zydeco.
Nice. They're a good band, solid band. Because I'm so close to New York, there's actually a club that I go to. It's called Terra Blues, and they just have like independent performers come in and they play, and you get to see an amazing blues show and unfiltered and just good music. Just good, good music. Yeah. So quite impressed with that. But I did watch it. I do watch. I like to. And I was like, wow, this is a band that I'd never heard of before, who fits right into this blues genre that I love. And then you take the whole Zydeco thing. Oh,
God, I love a good Zydeco. Absolutely.
So, yes. So it is a tough place to be in, especially if you're not out there doing content, right? The easiest thing for me to do would be to take off my clothes and do content. Sure. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Easy. I totally get what you mean, but get what you mean. Yeah.
But like working on the people part of it is what I enjoy. is getting in there and like, hey, how do we bring this community together? How do we bring this community up? So that's what it's really about.
That is awesome.
There we go. That's wonderful.
So as we wrap up here with you, let's start first of all with Giovanni. Write it down for us, my friend.
Well, first off, thank you very much for the time to talk about it. You can always find me on Twitter at GILV. It's Giovanni Valentino. Obviously, Sexwork PR is morphing and moving into the industry PR because, as I've always said, yeah, we do a lot of work with those folks that work on the mattress, but we also got the mattress adjacent people, great folks that are out there doing great work like Smart Track, STD Hero, whatnot. So we were rebranding and renaming as the industry PR, and the Chicago Exotica trip will be a part of that relaunch and rebrand. You can find it at the industry PR. Not a lot on there right now because we're in the middle of a relaunch, but we're happy to be here. But always find me directly online, GILV on Twitter.
So, Thotty Godmother, run it down for us. How do we get a hold of you? How do we see all your stuff? Everything.
Absolutely. So you can find me at, all of my handles are pretty much Thotty Godmother. Because nobody else has the handle.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
Yeah, nobody else has a handle. I haven't seen any bots or fake accounts yet, so I'm happy with that. X is Thotty Godmother. FetLife is Thotty Godmother. Chatterbait, which is new for me, which I love. Thotty Godmother as well. I do have an Instagram. It's under a different handle. It's Miss Karen, and yeah. Oh, I am a Karen.
You are a Karen.
I am a Karen. Yep, I am.
Ask for the manager. Let's do it.
Yeah, yo, give me that Karen. I'm here.
Yeah.
Give me that Karen. So
God.
that's how you can find me. Pretty easy to find. I will be doing a stream later on Chatterbait. I think it's fun. I love social aspects of everything. So I'll be doing a stream later. I'll put that on my X where you can find me and hopefully.
Oh yeah, I'll be dropping by. I'm Texas Aggie 96 on Chatterbait because that was back in my old A&M days. But that's where I got my career start, was in Cam. So yeah, absolutely. Find me on there. I'll drop some tokens.
There you go. Thank you so much. And I will be at Exotica in Chicago.
And so shall we.
Yeah, so we will see each other there. Have a good time.
See each other there. Maybe we'll run into Dan Man, the cargo pants man, and we'll all talk some shop. There it is.
There you go.
Well, that is that. Thanks for joining us this week. We have got more at jiggyjaguar.info. If you want to see all of our videos and all the various things. Since the Thotty Godmother brought it up earlier, if you want to see any of our music stuff, you can go to kjagradio.com.
That's right.
God knows, I did not know that that the porn people were paying attention to the music stuff. I know the political people pay very much attention to the porn stuff, but I didn't know that the porn people were paying attention to the music and vice versa. Thank you, Thotty Godmother. I look forward to seeing you in old Chicago.
Yes.
And, that is that, and we will see you next time.